Hanan, you're right about speaking. You're right about speaking, Hanan.
Picture this. You just walked on stage and the audience is wildly applauding you. You're no longer worried about your nerves, about the words, or even about your zipper. There's only one thing you're focused on, and that's making a big difference for your audience. Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and always welcome guest, do you believe that you could become this great speaker? I know you can do it, but only your opinion matters. As Henry Ford once said, whether you believe you can do a thing or not, you are right. Today I'm going to tell you how my thinking has directly affected my speaking, and I want you to ask yourself, how is your thinking affecting you too? The first time I said to myself, I can be a great speaker, was when I was 13 years old. I was sitting in a stuffy, smelly auditorium. The principal had just announced that some lady from an organization called MAD was going to be talking to us. Psh, I didn't even hear her name because Rihanna was pinching me and Ryan was teasing me. Josephine, Josephine. Oh, this was going to be a really long assembly. Then something amazing happened. The MAD speaker said, my daughter, who is 13, just like you guys, was killed by a drunken driver who was only in high school. 2 lives were ruined, and I never, ever want that to happen to you. Wow. As I looked around the room, everyone had grown up. Rihanna wasn't pinching. Ryan wasn't teasing. She had transformed a room full of teenage punks into a room full of responsible adults who might just choose to never drink and drive. I wanted to be just like her, and I knew I could do it. I kept getting signs that I was right. I won a lip sync contest. I also was chosen to speak at a children's fair as I told my mom I was destined to be a star. Then, in high school, I tried out for Bye Bye Birdie. I'd been practicing for months, and this was the moment that was going to make or break my career. I sang, bye bye birdie, I'm going to miss you so, I'll cry birdie. Stop, said Mrs. H. I was a former rocket, and I could spot talent like this. Ooh, she thinks I'm talented. But you, my dear, do not have it. As long as I am musical director, you will never have a spot on my stage. Go buy some black clothes so you can blend in with the scenery. When I told my friends and family what happened, they said, Mrs. H shouldn't have told you that. But they didn't say she was wrong. The more I thought about it, the more I realized Mrs. H was right. After all, she was a rockette, and I was just some wishful wannabe from the suburbs. What did I know about being on stage? What did I know about inspiring an audience? What was I going to do? Stand up here and tell you how I failed my audition? Clearly, I was not meant to be a speaker. And for the next 12 years, I proved myself right. Every time I told a joke, nobody laughed. So I stopped telling them. And at work, My bosses only asked me to design trainings. They never asked me to deliver them. So I said to myself, I'm a writer. I'm not a speaker. Then in 2007, my boss, Marie, said, Jose, we have a problem. Companies in the Bay Area are not hiring enough people who are blind. If we don't get our numbers up, we will lose our state funding. I need you to go out and talk to employers and convince them that people who are blind are good hires. Why don't you join Toastmasters? So this writer, who clearly was not a speaker, signed on the dotted lines for a 7 a.m. club. After a few weeks, I was doing speeches, and they were well written, very poorly delivered. And after one of the meetings, our President Dee came up to me and she said, Jose, you have potential, but do you even care about being a great speaker? My gut reaction was to say no. I was just doing this for work, and I had never wanted to be a great speaker. But then I realized I was lying to myself. There was a time when I wanted to be just like the Mad Lady. I could see it. I wanted to inspire people, not just on paper, but in person. Why had I killed my dream? One audition had caused me to doubt myself for the next 12 years. 12 years, which I will never get back. What are your doubts costing you? I never gave Dee my answer, but if she was here right now, I'd want to tell her that, yes, I do want to become a great speaker, and I know I could do it. Because for the past 5 years, I've been entering contests, I've been taking on leadership positions, and when I tell a joke, people laugh. Okay, I'm still working on that one. Enough about me. How many of you think you can become great speakers? Well, whatever you think, you are right, Mr. Toastmaster.
Again, I need 1 minute of silence for the judges.